Alright guys, welcome back to this season Savage Declutter, and this is face part 2. So I have over here, I have powder foundations, face setting powders, contour, bronzer, highlight, and then blushes over here. So let's go ahead and get started on these. So first up, let's do the face powder foundations. First up, I have this Bare Minerals matte foundation in Fairly Medium. I really wanted to like this because I previously tried the Bare Minerals powder and I liked it, but that was like 6 years ago or so, and I'm a different face color now because honestly before I was just buying the wrong color. But anyway, this Fairly Medium, once I put it on my skin, is quite light, but the medium, which is the next cool tone shade up, is pretty orange, so both of these shades are not really appropriate for me, so I'm just not even going to bother with it anymore. I'm just going to pass this one along. Next up, I have this Flower powder foundation in P3. This one I use more like a face setting powder, but since it is powder foundation, I'll just put it in here. But anyway, this one is a little bit yellowy, but I do like how it looks on my skin. I have a full review on this a little bit later down my channel. You can go ahead and check that out if you would like, but I'm going to keep this one because I do like how it looks on my skin, and it does help to mattify a little bit also. Next up is this Studio Fix by MAC. I have it in NW22. I bought the wrong shade. I really should have bought NW25, but because of the reaction that I had to it, I'm not going to. This broke my skin out really, really bad. So I will not be probably trying any more MAC face products because of that, but I also just did not love how it made my skin look. It looked really, kind of like, it was almost like it sat on top of it and made it look like I was wearing like a powder mask, and it was just really kind of scary looking. So this one's going. I had the same issue with this Cover FX pressed mineral foundation. I got it in the shade P30, which I thought would be my shade, but once I got it on, it was actually way too light. But then P40 looks really orange, same issue as the Bare Minerals one, so I just can't. And it also did not sit well on my face. Anytime that I would start to get oily, it would almost like mix with the powder and make it look like I had like cake face, even though I hadn't even like blotted and repowdered or anything like that. It was not a good look. I'm not going to be using this one anymore. Next up is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Confidence Creamy Powder Foundation. I have this in the shade Light Beige. This is probably my favorite powder foundation at the moment. I love how it looks. I actually wore it on our Christmas trip recently, and it just looked so nice and natural, and it almost blends into your skin, like not like a powder. It looks almost like you're wearing like a liquid foundation that you've blended in really, really well. So this I love. And this CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Powder Foundation in 105-110. I'm also keeping this one just because it is a great drugstore alternative, and I love the way that it looks on my skin, and it actually provides a really good amount of mattifying power. So love this. Then I have this Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. I don't know what is up with this thing, guys, but like whenever I put it on, it made my skin look really bad. I don't really remember experiencing that before, so I don't know if maybe it's changed or something, but it looked, I don't know how to describe it. Like I'm struggling with the descriptions today, but it just made it look like my skin was like almost separating apart, like all the foundation underneath, because I wore it with a liquid foundation and with a powder foundation. It just looked bad underneath of it. It was a weird reaction. That's going. Then I have this Bare Minerals Bare Skin Perfecting Veil, Sheer Boost Light to Medium. You guys, like, this does not look like light to medium to me, and it's pretty much like a bronzer, but like it looks muddy on my face, so it's just, no, this is a no-go. And then I have the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder in number 1. This I absolutely love. I use this all the time. I've talked about it quite a few times. It is almost like a really, really light highlight. I like to just wear this around the perimeter of my face just to give me a little bit of like health to my face and like a kind of a lightness and make me look a little bit more alive whenever I haven't gotten so much sleep. So this one I'm keeping and I love. Okay, I just took a glance at that footage. You couldn't really see the swatch of this real good, so I'll go ahead and do it again. A little bit more down here. But there's that powder, just the lightest little hint of sheen on there. But moving right along, let's see, I've got this Rimmel Stay Matte Long-Lasting Pressed Powder. I have this in Silky Beige. This is one that I tried several years ago and I liked. I used it all the time and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then several of you had recommended it after my last declutter. I picked it up again and now I just feel like it doesn't really work that well with my skin and the oiliness of my skin. Whenever I had used it before, it was back whenever I didn't know a whole lot about makeup. So not that I know too much more now, but I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm an expert in my skin and this just, it did not help my skin at all. It didn't help the oiliness level. So it's going. And then the last of those is the Milani Even Touch Powder Foundation in Fresco. I use this as an under eye setting powder because I really don't like that super bright, really light under eye setting powder. This to me just looks a lot better and it's a super thin powder, so I love that it's not too heavy and it blends really nicely. So I'm keeping this. I love it. I use it all the time. So out of all of those powders, I'm getting rid of 6 and I'm going to keep 5. So let's go ahead and talk about these. Some of them are duos, but we'll just count them as bronzer for right now. So I have this NARS Laguna, which was last declutter the only bronzer that I kept around after my last declutter. And I haven't used it a whole lot this year because I did find another one that I really like. But I got back into this a couple months ago and I was like, you know what, I still really like this. So I'm going to keep this one because it's super duper travel friendly and it's also the size of an eyeshadow. So I can use it like that too. It works kind of double duty. The other bronzer that I did end up using a lot this year is this Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze. I have mine in Fair to Light and it's got a little bit of a sheen to it just like the Laguna bronzer. This one to me is a little bit more user-friendly in terms of getting a brush into, so that's why I really like it. But it's also very subtle, which is great for me whenever I don't want to be, you know, too heavy. Like non-filming makeup, this is what I love to use. But I also like to use this one a lot whenever I'm filming because it shows up a little bit more on camera. So I'm keeping both of these. This Tarte Park Avenue Princess Amazonian Clay Bronzer I got as a free gift with purchase from Ulta. And I don't know what is up with this thing, guys, but it just looks on my skin so incredibly muddy. Every time I put it on, it looks like I have like dirt on my face. And looking at it right here, it's a very orange like color whenever you swatch it. And it has a lot of gold like sheen in it. It's not for me. I just don't like it. So this is going to be passed along. Let me go ahead and just show you the other one compared to it. See, this one is much more my speed. This one is just way too terracotta in color. Just don't like it at all. This one I got recently. It has a bronzer and a highlight. I feel like to me the bronzer seems more like a contour color. I'll put it right here. There it is. That to me is a little bit more cool toned than these two. So this one I feel like I would use more as a contour. However, I've mostly used this for the highlight, which I'll put right here. It's a very pretty highlight and you can actually get it to be quite subtle if you just use it sparingly. So this one I'm definitely going to keep. I want to use it some more. And this is, I forgot to say, the Makeup Revolution Bronze and Glow Chocolate Bar Bronzer and Highlighter. So this one I'm liking so far. It's still quite new to me though. Then I have this Coastal Scents. This came in a subscription box. It is a blush and a highlight from a palette that they have. You guys, this is so tiny. Like, I mean, you could maybe use the highlight, but nobody's getting a blush brush in that thing. I'm not even going to bother to swatch it because it's one less thing to have to sanitize, but this is just, no. not even gonna even try to use this. This is crap. Like, I would rather you give me one pan of something like this as opposed to split it into two tiny little things. No, thank you. This before in my last declutter was the only contour that I kept. It is the Kevyn Aucoin Medium Sculpting Powder. Still my favorite contour. Still the best one that I have ever tried. And I will still be keeping it. It requires such a tiny amount to get a good contour. And I will keep this until the wheels fall off. Let's move right along to, I think the rest of these are pretty much highlights. So this is the Bare Minerals Invisible Glow Powder Highlighter in Fair to Light. I did a full review on this and the bronzer. I don't think I mentioned that, but you can see that on my channel. It's a pretty highlight. However, the kind of like, it has a nice sheen and it's my kind of highlight. I don't really like a blinding highlight, but it has kind of like a glittery fallout that will come down your face throughout the day, which I did not love. I did not enjoy that, so this one is gonna go. Next up is this Essence Pure Nude Highlight, and I really liked it, but I've noticed in the past several months that I've been using it, there's the swatch of that one, it actually gives me a lot of texture on my cheeks now. I don't know why, but this is gonna go just because I can't be having those issues on my skin, especially after spending so much time and money to correct my acne. Next up is this Smashbox Drawn and Decked Out Spotlight Palette. This came in a holiday gift set, and I do like this. I kind of use them for different reasons in different ways. So these first two I tend to use as like eyeshadows, and then this last one, this pinky one, I will kind of use like as a cheek highlight just because it's nice and subtle. So there's those three, and I'm going to keep it because I like this one. All right, next up is this Wet n Wild Fergie Center Stage collection, and this is in Rosé Champagne Glow. You guys, I don't know. Like, I like that it's a pinky highlight, but I feel like once I get it on my cheeks, it doesn't look nearly as subtle. It seems to accentuate any sort of texture or anything that I have. So this one, for that reason, is just going to go. Now that I'm thinking about it, these two are the two highlights that I kept from last time. And this one was my favorite one out of them. And I'm still keeping this one. I try to use it sparingly since it was limited edition. But this is the Becca Rose Quartz. It is just the most gorgeous pink highlight ever. And it's still my favorite. So I'm going to keep this one for sure. Then I have this Kylighter. I did a whole review on some Kylie stuff. This is Cotton Candy Cream. You guys, look at the hard pan that's on this. Like, I hope that you can see that, but if not, you can see it in the review. This got hard pan as soon as I started to use it, and it's just, I don't know what it is. The formula, she just really messed it up or something, because you rub and rub and rub and you get barely anything on your swatch, and it's even worse whenever you're using a brush. So I don't recommend these. I would not spend my money with Kylie really at all anymore. I think that she has some shady business practices, so that's that. Next up, I got this MAC Strobe Cream, also from Ulta. And I just like that it's kind of just like a nice little like glow cream, I guess like a glotion that you can put on that you don't really even have to wear anything, and it just looks nice and subtle and pretty, and it's a little bit kind of pinky, which is my favorite kind of thing. So this is also fairly new to me. I think I got it a few weeks ago, so I'm going to keep it and keep playing with it. Then I have Benefit's What's Up highlighter. I got rid of my full-sized one of these last declutter because it just is kind of too golden for what I like. And it just, for the most part, cream highlights, cream blushes, cream products in general, cream contour, cream highlight, cream blush, cream bronzer, I just don't like how they look on my skin, and they always seem to move my makeup around. So this is going, it just doesn't get enough use in my collection. And it's going to be the same thing for this Trestique mini highlight stick, and I don't even think it has a name on it, but here's what it looks like. It's a little bit more pinky than the What's Up. But same thing, just because it's a cream, I just don't get down with the cream products. And then this is the Naked Skin Highlighting Fluid in Aura. I used kind of quite a bit of this, considering me and my makeup tastes. That's quite a bit, but I love how it looks. It is a pink highlight, which is of course my favorite thing because I am a cool-toned, fair-skinned girl, but it's the liquid cream type of product thing. I just can't use this whenever I am using other like powder products to mattify my face. It just doesn't work for me. So this one's gonna go. Now let's dive into the blushes and wrap this thing up. So here's what we've got. First up is Bobbi Brown French Pink Blush. This is another product that Sephora sent to me on accident in one of my orders and let me keep it. I kept this around last year because I didn't really have a blush that was like this color and I wanted to keep it, but honestly, I did not use this at all ever since the last declutter. So it's just gonna go. I haven't been using it, I have to get rid of it. So that's just how it is. Here's this Kylie blush. I have mine in X-rated. Again, it has kind of the hard pan issue, not nearly as bad though as the highlight. And here was the issue that I faced. I really loved the color of this. However, the staying power was just complete crap. So for that reason, it's gonna have to go. I'm just not going to tolerate that. But the color is really gorgeous. I would rather not keep around a product that I have to finesse. This is NARS Orgasm Multiple Stick. Same thing, it's the cream, you know, cream product on my face type of thing. I just don't like it. And I actually tried to use this like as an eyeshadow. It creased like crazy, so I can't imagine what it would actually be like on my face, but nope, this is going. Then I have this NARS blush in Sin. This was a recommendation from one of you guys, and this color is just absolutely gorgeous. And whenever I go in really sheer, it just looks really, really pretty on my skin. So I'm definitely keeping this one. I love it. Then I have this ColourPop duo of blush and highlight, and I don't even think that it says a name on here anymore, but it's this pink one with the pink highlight. The blush was incredibly patchy. Even right here, you can tell whenever I swatched it, it was very patchy. It was not good at all. And then the highlight itself was very, very intense and like rose gold, which is just not flattering on my skin. So this is going. Then I have in here, these are two eyeshadows that I already got rid of in my eyeshadow declutter, but they're still in the C palette just for right now. I have this Ulta blush in Nude Pink. This is a really, really pretty blush, but I just don't find myself using it because of having it in this little Z palette. I prefer it to be, you know, somewhere I can take it with me easier than just being in here. And then I also have this highlight, which is Tarte's Stunner. Pretty highlight, but way too intense for me. This would be more of an eyeshadow to me, but I just have ones like it, so I'm not going to bother to keep it. Then we have, oh, I have one more highlight in here. This is Ulta's Fresh Glow highlight. Really pretty, kind of like a coppery pink color, but I just don't ever find myself reaching for it. This one's gonna go. Then in here, I have Benefit's Rockateur Blush, one of my most used blushes actually. There that is. I am for sure keeping this one. I love this blush. Then I have, which one is this? This one is Benefit Coralista, which is this one right here. It's a little bit shimmery. And let me swatch it next to this one, which is Innocent Flush from L'Oreal. Yeah, so much more pinky. Looking at these, I feel like I'm going to keep both of these just because they're quite dissimilar to each other. I like that this one is kind of similar to the Kylie one, but it does have a little bit of shimmer to it. I like the color. And this Innocent Flush from L'Oreal True Match is a really pretty, like, kind of pink shimmery color. So that one is staying also. Then this one is the Tarte Rainforest After Dark Blush. I don't think that it had a name on here, or if it did, I lost it long ago. It's a pretty blush color, but I've honestly not used it at all this whole year. So this one's going. And then the last two blushes, we have Benefit Dandelion and we have L'Oreal True Match in Baby Blossom. Yes. Last time, I kept these two blushes, even though they are incredibly similar to each other. This is the Benefit one, and then this is the L'Oreal one. L'Oreal, just a touch more blue-based as opposed to this one. Let me make this swatch a little bit bigger also. But really, I wanted to keep them both because I like to mix them together. But honestly, I found myself more this year using the Baby Blossom one. So looking at these, I think I will just keep the L'Oreal one, and the Benefit one is going to go because I don't need both of them. So there we have it. Let's do a little quick calculation. 23 and 24 are going. So 24 going. And then we have 15, 16, 17. 17 are staying. So 24 going, 17 staying. Not bad. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed the declutter. I hope that it gave you a little bit of motivation to really get in there and get rid of anything that you're not actively using or that you're not excited to use whenever you do use it. If you're forcing yourself to use something, it's just no fun. So pass it along to somebody else, you know, or do something else with it. Just don't force yourself to use it. Makeup's supposed to be fun, and that's just not any fun. So go ahead and make sure to subscribe and check right now probably. I will have links to the Savage Declutter playlist, which is including this time and last time. And then I will have links to the corresponding Savage Declutter that corresponds to this from last time, probably right over here also. There's a subscribe button right here, and go ahead and click that so that you don't miss anything else coming up. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!